Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. We've got lots of really amazing people on our call live today. The conversations that we were having before we started the recording, it's really, really evident that people, when you come here on the live call, I'm just recognizing your genius, your divine genius inside. And it's very apparent because of the shares that you offer. Even before we start the recording, I can tell that everybody is just really truly sharing from their hearts and from their own divine genius. And we can see who you are by what you share, what you're grateful for. And I just want to acknowledge you and just express my gratitude for your time and talents for coming here and helping to make this call just an amazing place to start the day. Today, going along those same lines, was really noticing the gifts in other people, and it's just a confirmation that we all have these spiritual gifts within us, and sometimes we don't even recognize our own spiritual gifts until someone says something, and it's like, oh, well, that was just something I said, but I didn't realize, that it was a confirmation of a spiritual gift until someone confirms that. And I just would love to ponder on that for a bit. So we're going to do our private silent meditation, 90 seconds today, on confirmation of my gifts. And gratitude for confirmation of my gifts, and see what that brings up for you. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation, gratitude for confirmation of my gifts, and just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. I just want to share something that happened on our Architecture of Life mentoring call yesterday. I'm just me. I'm just me, and I don't necessarily see the gift within myself. I'm just like living boldly, and I don't always see what other people see in me. And I did go back and I had copied something and pasted it in a different document so that I could hold on to it. Something that Jana actually on our call yesterday shared about me. And I I want to read this to you and then also share one other thing. It says, Wileen's gifts, one of Wileen's gifts, exudes an invitation to others that encourages them to move forward and grow. The inspiration comes for me to come along with her is that I like new things, growing, seeking truth, and a deeper relationship with the Lord. No fear moving forward. She shows joy that brings peace to others, then confidence to follow it. I see this, or confidence to follow. I say this to help you see from my shoes. Thank you, Jana. I appreciate you sharing that about me yesterday in the chat and giving me the opportunity to be able to copy that and paste it somewhere so that I could remember who I am. And it really rings true. It resonates truth because I am just me and I'm just living my life as boldly as I know how. And it's like that quote that says, when you are your best, it automatically gives other people permission to be their best. It just, I'm just was really grateful for that confirmation that just me living at my best is inspiring others to step up and to live at their best. And the other part that I wanted to share is that Laura was on the call as well, and she confirmed that what Jana had written. And that confirmation was like a second witness. And it really, I read the thing in the chat and I was like, oh, I'm super grateful that you shared that. And I'm grateful that, that's inspired you and, that you're coming along with me and everything. I was super grateful for it. But it was when Laura confirmed it that I took a second look at it and really internalized it and was like, yes, that is actually who I am. So this confirmation of a second witness is super powerful. And I just want to give everybody permission to act when you feel that desire to give a confirmation or a second witness of someone, and especially of their spiritual gifts, because that was so powerful for me yesterday. And I know that it's something that will help, if you inspired to do that, that's going to help that person to really step up and be their best. So thank you. Robert.
The thing came to me very fairly simple is that my spiritual gift is of little value without your spiritual gift.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who else has something they would like to share? Betsy.
So I was thinking about this during the call and I got really choked up and couldn't talk. So I love that I have the opportunity to really think about my gifts, because I am so focused outward a lot and serving others and using my gifts that I don't see those in myself. And I was really honored and blessed to have this beautiful conversation with a client during a Belief Up session yesterday, and walked them through really helping them find their voice, be brave and be okay with speaking up and being themselves. And they saw these patterns in their lives that they were able to shift and change. And there was just such a beautiful transformation. And I just felt so honored because every single call with the client, there's a big shift, and it just touches me, and it's God's gifts just works through me. I just get to be the guide. It's because I get to see those things and say the right words. But this particularly, this person is a good friend close to me. And I was so grateful that I could see that there's going to be a new walk in her life. And it was beautiful and humbling. And it was almost sacred, really. I'm so grateful to God.
I just really love what you're saying. And, I've been in that position as well, as where you are affirming their gifts, you're affirming them and stepping up to being their best. And at the same time, that's how we know that this is God, because there's more happening than just you giving. You are actually receiving at the same time when you're in this flow of, of service in the way that is inspired by God. And so I just wrote this, you inspired this quote, Betsy, and I think this is probably going to be our meme today. It's an honor to confirm my gifts as I affirm your gifts. And I feel like that's what you do when you're doing those belief up sessions and helping people step up.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
And
Yes,
it is sacred. And it is sacred. It's a sacred obligation.
It is. And I love that you said the word flow, because I've said, the word instrument seems like I'm holding, he's holding me and I'm doing it, but it is actually a flow. I've made myself open where he can work through me. And it's like a beautiful, I love the word flow. Like, oh my goodness, that's so the flow of energy, the flow of intuition, of intelligence, inspiration. And okay, this is so beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Opening up some new things. Awesome. Thanks, Betsy. Who else has something they'd like to share? Tammy.
I'll share.
Okay.
So the statement that came to me was just that, was sharing with others, that confirmation of our gifts comes through sharing with others. And I've just, after the mentoring call yesterday, there was part of me that was kind of questioning and just, feeling a little bit inadequate. Just feeling kind of the, what's the word I want? Feeling a little bit inadequate with where I feel God is leading me and asking me to go. And but then ever since that call, after that call, I've been receiving all of these different confirmations from God. It's like flashbacks of my entire life up to this point, and the purpose for all of these different things that I've experienced. And it's just giving me confirmation that God has given me all of the training and education that I need. And another thought I had was just how God, his light and love can penetrate any place. And if he is asking me to step into places that I didn't know at first he would be asking me to go, then I am so happy to do that. And I know that through continuing to share my gifts, I will continue to receive those confirmations.
Beautiful. Wow, such powerful words. And this is so true, that he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And he always prepares you. He never will ask you to do something that he hasn't already prepared the way. We might not see it, but as we step into it, I'm receiving confirmation of that all the time. That, I receive something and I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. And you actually mentioned that, Tammy, before we started the call, that if you just ask the what and the who, then in his own time, he will reveal the why. And I'm so grateful that you have been prepared. You've been preparing over the last couple of years to take steps, even if you don't see, the path very clearly. So he can use you because you have been prepared to just walk in faith. I love And really all this boils down to is when you can believe that you are enough and that you're worthy and see yourself as a child of God and that he cares for you, that he loves you, and that he's not going to leave you, without resources and help, then you can literally do anything that he calls you to do. Thank you. Let's see, we have time for let's see, Mary, go ahead.
This has been really great. My thoughts were how I am grateful that I can see my own unique gifts and they don't have to be protected or hidden, that they're given to me and I then give freely of them. Mm. And the other thing, my gifts are a gift for me to share. And if I've been given clarity and confirmation about my gifts or a direction to go, then it is, the word was said, so somebody else was thinking it too, but it is my obligation to follow that road, to use my gifts. There are things that there's growth for me and others in showing up. And it's not just me. And I can't just, if I hide out and I hide those gifts or protect those gifts, then I'm not living boldly. They're not, and there's no recipients. I can't inspire. By using our gifts, by using my gift, I inspire others to be their best and to use their gifts. And I'm just really grateful for the things that were said, because it's, along with that, what and who, I believe is what was said. God will reveal the how.
Mm-hmm,
just
for sure.
Just listen, just follow, and that confirmation of gifts, just use them, just embrace them and move forward.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate you. It's such a great addition to what's already been shared. And when you do have that clarity and confirmation, to know that it is your sacred obligation. These gifts are not meant for us. They're given to us because we were meant to work together to achieve our highest potential. And they're pretty useless. And a lot of times we can lose them if we don't use them to serve other people. So thank you. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process? Phil?
I'll share. Yeah. It was coming to me as like all these men who wrote scripture, and I think of Jonah, like just, God saw the gift in him, and he was reluctant. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm not your guy. He was like, no, you are my guy. And I think that, that sometimes we're like, hey, we don't feel worthy, or we don't feel like capable of stepping into this role. And it's really when we take God out of the equation, when we say, okay, like, I've got to do this all myself. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea how I'm going to go and do this, but I want to be obedient. And then we think that we've got to do it on our own, and we just never do have to. So we can, if we let our ego dictate our reasons why and stuff. And but really, that's just came to my mind. So
awesome, thank you. And I love what you're saying, that these gifts, these are gifts that we can utilize when we bring God into the equation. If we take God out of the equation, we try to figure out how to use the gift in a way that's going to serve us best, or, whatever, then they're not as powerful. In fact, they can become a hindrance to us. They can actually become a weakness if we're trying to wield those gifts in a way that, manipulates things to our purpose or whatever. Or if we try to hide our gifts, then we definitely can't be used as an instrument, to let God work through us. I think fear is a big reason why we, don't step up and use our gifts. And yeah, just bringing God into the equation. It's like, I don't have to know how, I don't have to know why, but, and the most important thing is to know that I will be supported, that, if I move forward, then these spiritual gifts are going to be honed and polished and used for not only my good, but for others' good as well.
I think of the other one too, of who was it that said, I write these things and I'm not very powerful with my words as I write. I'm afraid that people will judge me.
Mm-hmm.
They will scoff at me because of my weakness in writing. And yet he has some of the most beautiful words that you can read.
Yeah.
And yet he believed, his fear came in and tried to sabotage him, but he just wrote what was on his mind.
Did it anyway.
It was on my mind.
Yeah. Love that. Thank you. Deep T is saying, with the gifts I have, I'm creating a ripple of joy within me and all around me. And we've got a couple of other thoughts. Let's see, Mary says, perfect analogy, Phil. Also, God hands each of us, this is Deep T, hands each of us one of us a present, but what we do is we don't open it. Yeah, we all have gifts within us, but if we don't open them up, then they're not useful to anybody. So thank you. Appreciate you guys' shares. Let's go ahead and shift over into our permission process. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And first of all, being open to receive a confirmation of your own gifts. And maybe that confirmation of recognizing your own gifts is sort of a reflection of someone else's gift. And so be open to also be able to bring other people into this understanding, this process of understanding more, having more confirmation of your own gifts. Just be open to see and know and remember when other people have shared things with you, or that there's been some sort of a reflection from other people that comes back to you as confirmation of your own personal gifts. So recognizing that our own gifts inside of us, our divine genius inside of us, is only as powerful, or we can only see it as powerful through a reflection of others. If we just have this gift within ourselves and we're acknowledging ourselves, just ourselves, there's a little bit of ego that could maybe come into that. But as a reflection from other people, there's a truth that's seen and recognized and confirmed and can be embraced on a very humble level. And just be open to remember some of those moments where your gifts were reflected back to you through someone else. And what is that gift? Go ahead and write that down as best as you can. Write down in words what that gift is. And listen for any limiting beliefs that are coming up for you about that gift as you're confirming, as you're receiving confirmation of that gift. You've got a second witness. You have the confirmation of God showing you this gift, and you also have the second witness, the confirmation from that reflection coming from someone else. And just write that down and feel within your own heart the confirmation, the resonance that's there, if it's true. And also listening for that limiting belief. And as the limiting belief is coming to you, also recognize count the cost of it. What is the cost of that limiting belief? What would be the cost of you using that gift in the most powerful way that you can, and for the purpose that it was given to you? What is the cost of that limiting belief? What will this limiting belief affect if you hold on to it? And if you don't like that, if you're ready to let go of that limiting belief and step into a new thought pattern, into some new beliefs, you can do that by giving yourself permission and saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And the fact that you received this information right now in this moment, when you were open to receive from God and also seeing as a reflection from other people and having that confirmation and feeling the resonance in your heart, you know that this is true. And so I invite you to write a statement that begins with I am, and use those words that you've written down that represent the gift that you've just received, this confirmation. That let that be your first new belief. I am, and then whatever your spiritual gift is. And then also maybe listening for those words that are reflected back from other people, and also words that are coming direct inspiration from God right now. And write down those new beliefs that will empower you to be able to use your gift in a much higher way, to step past fear and to be able to step into I am enough and allow God to work through you in serving his children. And at the same time, amplifying and magnifying you as an instrument in his hands. Honing your gift, improving it, magnifying it, developing it. And with these new beliefs, go back to that understanding of who you are and what your gift is. And what is the one most important thing that you could do today? What is your inspired shortcut to embody this gift? And just listen for inspiration to tell you. And just as Phil was talking about Jonah, there might be a little bit of fear of what that inspired shortcut is, but that's okay, because it's much better to go forward, let him prepare you. Well, know that he has prepared you already. Let him pave the way for you. Let him shine the light in those dark places, and just take one step at a time and allow him to guide you in fulfilling whatever it is, that inspired shortcut today. And know that you are capable. You have this internal gift. You have this divine intelligence and this divine genius inside, this gift inside to be able to accomplish this task. Just know that he has prepared you and that you have the ability inside. And make that commitment that as soon as this call is over, that you will take action on that inspired shortcut. Most important thing to do today. And that will give you some evidence of this new understanding that you have of your gift. It will give you confirmation of this gift within you, and help you to continue moving forward and magnifying that gift. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for a couple of shares, and also would like to invite anyone that is struggling at all. If you maybe you're not seeing what your gift is, or maybe you're not sure how to express that gift in a way that would honor you and honor God and honor the people that you get to serve, then I would love to have a 15-minute conversation with you. And all you have to do is just go to askwylene.com, and that will take you to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute mentoring session. Tyree put in the chat, it's like the parable of the talents. And Tyree, do you want to unmute and share a little bit more about that?
So So in the Bible where it talks about the parable of the talents, and one he gave, what was it? He gave
I think 20
one
gave, yeah, go ahead.
he gave one talent, and then to another he gave, was it 2 talents, and then to another did he give 5? Is that right?
I think so.
Anyway, so the one that only had one buried it because he didn't want to lose it. And so when we are acting from a place of fear rather than faith, and we bury the talent and we do not share our gifts, then we are not multiplying and replenishing what he has given us, and we are not fulfilling our creation.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, Tyree. You have time for one more share? Mary.
If by using my talents, I only reach one person, then that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
My limiting beliefs were interesting. There was others won't approve. They won't understand that God chose me to do this. And a big one was just be quiet. And I'm the one asked to use my gifts. I'm helping others see the breath of life in their own life. And I am enough. God works through me, and magnifying my talents allows others. It's an instrument. Magnifying my talents is an instrument in God's hands. So why would I hold back? So my inspired shortcut is just to move into the light.
Wow, super powerful. Thank you, Mary. I think that there must be some reason why we receive that opposition in the beginning when we don't feel enough. And I know that every limiting belief is rooted in I'm not enough. And so if dark forces can help us along the way of believing that I'm not enough, then they've won. If we don't feel enough even to go out and serve one person using our talents, using our gifts, then the dark forces have won. So I just encourage all of you to go out and shine forth, live boldly, live big, do your, whatever you're inspired to do, and know that you have been prepared. You are enough. And that you have these wonderful gifts inside of you, that all you have to do is just open your mouth or open your arms and just be an instrument in God's hands, and you will be successful in whatever it is that he has in mind for you. And we all have that ability. Phil, one last thought.
One last thought, destruction is part of the creation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even those little, negative voices, and even Satan himself is part of the plan. Even they have a purpose in the plan. And, I just had this analogy, I go do, demolition on burying walls and stuff like that, in houses, so that they can open spaces up. And there has to be a taking apart, a breaking down for something new to begin. And so the fact that you do get those thoughts of I'm not good enough, or the ones that tear you down, they can be used to your advantage in realizing that there has to be a tear down in order to rebuild.
Right. I love that. And that's true. We do have to tear down what's not serving to be able to make room for what will serve. And I believe also that there must be a choice, because we have choice in everything. And so if it was easy, it's like, well, yeah, for sure, I'm going to go do that, But we have to really choose into, and especially at this level where you are choosing to use your gifts to be able to go serve other people, being an instrument in God's hands. You know, many are called, but few are chosen. And why are they not chosen? Because they don't choose it. And that is the pivotal point right there, is when, you know, regardless of whether we're feeling fear or whatever it is, that we are making the choice to go forth and use our gifts in God's service. And even if that was the only reason why we had that resistance, that is enough so that we can know that we actually have a choice and that we're choosing it. And I know every single person on this call has the ability to inspire people on a super high level, and you have been called, and all you have to do is just choose it. I just want to share just one more thought that's here in the chat. Deep T, I remember reading this somewhere. The purpose of life is to discover your gifts, but the meaning of life is to give it away. So what amazing thoughts that we have been shared today. I hope that this will be one that you will share with other people that you know have those gifts, that you've recognized the gifts within them, and encourage them to go out and share their gifts as you do, as you follow your inspired shortcuts today. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. We'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Love you. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
Love you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.